Tonight, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo drawing a line in the sand, telling the North Koreans if they think his demands for denuclearization are gangster-like, he's got plenty of company. Pompeo still insists that this weekend's talks had North Korea reaffirming its commitment to complete denuclearization. This, despite that staggering statement released after his departure, calling U.S. talking points, quote, cancerous and deeply regrettable.
North Korea called the talks with Secretary of State Pompeo deeply regrettable.
That remark came after Secretary Pompeo met with North Korean officials on Friday to follow up on President Trump's meeting with Kim Jong Un in Singapore last month.
In fact, Pompeo was snubbed in Pyongyang, never seeing Kim, although the White House had announced he would. Instead, the Secretary of State sat impatiently through two lavish banquets, everything from foie gras to ice cream, in a nation where most people starve. Former Defense Secretary and CIA Director Leon Panetta says the president should not have let Kim off the hook at their summit.
They're continuing to develop their nuclear capability, and they're basically sending a clear message that they aren't that willing to give up all of their nuclear weapons.
President Trump having declared that North Korea is no longer a nuclear threat, now learning what Presidents Clinton and Bush could have told him. North Korea drives a hard bargain and cheats.
Here's Secretary Pompeo speaking in Tokyo.
If those requests were gangster-like, the world is a gangster, because there was a unanimous decision at the UN Security Council about what needs to be achieved. The road ahead will be difficult and challenging, and we know critics will try to minimize the work that we've achieved.
While the president has maintained extreme confidence in the deal he and Kim signed at the historic summit,
thank you very much. It's fantastic.
North Korea has yet to deliver on its end. Reports claim they've expanded their missile testing facility rather than dismantling them. President Trump, on the other hand, did end military exercises known as war games, even using North Korea's language to describe them.
I wanted to stop the war games. I thought they were very provocative.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo did maintain a hard line on the current sanctions against North Korea, saying they'd be enforced with great vigor.
So Pompeo went and came back from Pyongyang, and we sat here last week and we discussed a few things, but perhaps we didn't think it would go quite as badly as we expected. We expected some things to come out, but it seems like Pompeo got very little out of it. What is your assessment of Pompeo's visit to Pyongyang?
Well, Secretary Pompeo would not agree with your assessment. He said that he had many hours of, productive conversation with his North Korean partners, and denuclearization itself is a very complex issue. And he said he was very proud of his negotiation team. But I'm inclined to agree with you that the talk failed to produce any breakthroughs. He described the conversation and negotiation as constructive and made in good faith. That means that they must have clashed on many of the key issues because of huge differences. That's why Secretary Pompeo described many hours of the negotiations constructive and in good faith. Means that they at least tried to hold on to mutual minimum level of mutual trust that they were negotiating in order to pursue mutual benefits.
Isn't there a risk that North Korea ends up pushing back too hard? For example, Trump last time he threatened to just walk out of the summit. Isn't there a risk that he's North Korea playing with fire a little bit? Unpredictable nature of the Trump administration?
Right. Definitely, North Korea is playing a dangerous game, playing with fire, and it's. We have to wait and see how Trump administration will respond, because Trump administration will not be outsmarted by North Korea when it comes to playing with fire or playing the game of uncertainty. So who knows, there might be a surge of tension on the Korean Peninsula.